4 seconds. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's Friday Night Comics. And you may be in a part of the world where it's not Friday night, and we welcome you anyway. Maybe it's Saturday morning, maybe it's early Friday. Could be all sorts of things, but we call it Friday Night Comics. Welcome. You're at the Sequential Artists Workshop. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. You can find us at learn.sawcomics.org, where you find our courses and other things like that. For instance, we're enrolling for our year-long certificate program. You can find that out at learn.sawcomics.org. Also, next week in the Spot Kit Fraser, we'll be here August 2nd. That's next Friday. And a couple things in the summer. Monsters Remix, which is a reading group we're doing. That starts August 8th. And then Bootlegger's Guide to Color with Jess Rolifson. It'll show you how all sorts of cheats to help you color well. And that's coming August something or other. I forget, but you can find that at learn.sawcomics.org. And also we have Sawgust, which is our sort of month-long challenge month. There's a quick free sign-up form, and you set the goals, and we have a whole community of people cheering you on and helping you meet those goals. So that's coming up soon, Sawgust. And again, that year-long program is signing up now, and there'll be a QR code for these free 1-hour workshops where I'm trying to give you 18 takeaways to that that you'll get over the course of the year, but there are hundreds of takeaways. I'll put this QR code up at the end for a second, but that's where you can find out when the next one's happening, which is in about a week, I think. Anyway, thank you for donating tonight, and wherever or whenever you donate, and things you pay for really helps us stay afloat. It helps us pay the artists for these workshops and all of our other things, and it helps keep them free. You might have heard about Florida's wonderful governor canceling all arts funding for the year of 2024. That's us. And so we appreciate all the donations. There are lots of ways to donate. It's on the screen. I'll put it in the chat as well. You can become a sustaining member. Appreciate that too. Okay, we'll get started. No inappropriate speech or imagery, no trolling or hate speech. That's why we had to keep everybody off mute or on mute. Keep it PG-13, please, when we share. Appreciate it. Share on social media tonight. Hashtag Friday Night Comics. You can tag us at Mike or at Comics Workshop. I was going to mention that Mike is Mike Dawson with 3 W's, I think, but we'll put that in the chat too. And you can also share at members.sawcomics.org. And also, we've been making PDFs of stuff we do on these workshops, and you can find them at seesawcomics.org. We have a little link for them, and every week we make a new PDF from these events, these Friday night events. There's that QR code again if you want to join me for one of the hour-long workshops. Anyway, enjoy. Okay, we have Mike Dawson with only 1 W. Okay, I got to figure out how to stop screen sharing. Okay, there we go. Mike, welcome. I'm so happy to have
Hi.
you here.
Hi, this is amazing. I'm so excited that so many people are here. Um,
I'm gonna
and
I'm going to ask you to do one thing, but it's not going to help. Raise your Zoom hand if you don't mind. Can you find that? It's usually down below, and it's sometimes under reactions. That perfect. Now, what's crazy? No, not Judith, but thank you. Now people are doing it. Um, anyway, so Mike, if for some reason Zoom's AI, which this will happen, it'll say, it looks like you're done talking. I'm going to lower your hand. See if you can stop it, but it's impossible. So anyway, now I'm done talking. Mike, I'll hand it off to you. Thanks for being here. It's really great to see you again.
hello, everybody. So my name is Mike Dawson. I'm
Spot.
a cartoonist. I've been making comics for uh since the late 90s. I've been doing graphic novels. I do short comic essays. I recently started publishing stuff. I found the New York Times is a place where like they accept a lot of the things I send them, and that's a wonderful place to get my stuff published. And in recent years, I've been writing graphic novels for middle grade readers. What I wanted to do tonight is a version. This doesn't look like much, but it is a little self-published workbook that I put together that I take to schools and libraries and work with usually like 8 to 12-year-olds. So this is like an introduction to comics, like series of activities. It's a lot of fun, and it's actually I've done it with people older than age 12, so we all will have a good time. It's a little bit of a combination of a presentation. I'm going to be showing you a slideshow, walking you through some things, and then we're going to do some activities. So if there is a bit of back and forth throughout. So if everybody has some kind of paper on hand, we will be jumping to activities. And then when I go to the activities, is that possible to go off mute at that point, Tom?
Yeah, we can,
Okay.
sure. Mhm.
Right. And then the other thing is because it's a little bit of a presentation, I feed off of like laughter and things like that. So I'm just gonna assume that everyone's laughing the whole time and having a good time.
I'll tell you what, we will allow people to unmute, and it's just that if it becomes a problem, I'm gonna totally change it.
Okay,
Like,
everyone just laugh and that sort of stuff is good.
we're allowing it for tonight only. Otherwise, I'm gonna turn this car around.
So I'm gonna hit screen share, go to my desktop. Let's see. Is it sharing?
Not yet.
There we go.
Yes, now it's starting. Oh, wow.
So play slideshow. So this is a workshop. As I said, I'll take it into schools. I'll do it with groups of kids. I tried doing it. My mother has a senior group. I did it with them. We had a pretty good time, but I stressed them out a little bit. But done it with a whole variety of people. So first thing I ask, has anybody here ever felt like they can't draw? Is that a common thing? Do people feel that way sometimes? People, well, yeah, there we go. I see a hand raised. It's something that people will say when they feel nervous about how their drawings look in comparison to other people's work or what they see on the shelves, um, and so on. I'm going to pause real quick. I'm slightly self-conscious because I know Tom is a comics educator. I'm just a dabbler, but this is my perspective on how comics work. So I don't want to see him judging me up at the top. But
No.
in my opinion, comics and drawing are not exactly the same thing. So then I ask kids, probably no one here has seen this, but maybe some of you have. Has anybody ever seen a comic book featuring this character? Anyone? Now,
Yeah.
is that the best drawing we've ever seen in our lives? And the answer is no, it's not. It's a stick figure. It does exactly what it needs to do to tell the story that it's telling, and it does it really well. Because obviously, if we all could be so lucky to write a book that sells as well as this, we'd all be very happy people. This is
Gosh.
Greg Heffley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. If anybody can draw as well as Greg Heffley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, then they can make comics. Now, that doesn't mean that style isn't important because obviously it is important. An artist needs to figure out what makes them feel happy when they're working and also like what appeals to people who might potentially read what they're making. Style is obviously a real thing that is important, but again, the way I see comics is that if you can draw a stick figure, then you can start to create comics, and it's an art form that you can start to express yourself in. So I'm going to do an activity that I actually got from Ivan Brunetti's book, Cartooning, which I don't know if you've ever worked from this before, Tom. I'm not sure, but it's a great activity for warming up, and everybody's going to get a piece of paper. We're going to do some doodles, and I want everybody. I'm going to give plenty of time for this. I'm going to give a full minute. Actually, that's too much time. Let's make it 45 seconds.
Nice.
Yes, everybody, draw your very best cat or car uh, in your 45 seconds. And I'll do the same. So I'm going to draw a cat. So
Cat or car.
cat or
Okay.
car, you
Okay.
have 40 seconds left.
Oh my God, you've already started. All right, here
So
we
I
go.
have started. So everyone do their best. 40 seconds is like way too much time. But what does a cat need? Most
Legs.
common thing is some pointy ears. If you put some rounded ears on it, your people will walk past and see what you're drawing or pick up your book and they'll be like, this is a comic about a bear. The cat is it needs the tail, it needs the pointy ears. And the car obviously needs wheels, windows, we still have plenty of time. You got 11 seconds left. Anybody so it's far too much time.
Totally
Um,
too much
yeah.
time.
So is it
Great.
hold on, one, there we go. So, does everyone want to hold up their drawings and let's see?
Yeah, I can
Are we able to see them? I can see I see a cat up top. I see, let me see if
launch.
I can expand everyone's, sorry, I have to stop sharing, I think, for me to,
Yeah, that'll do it. And then it'll go to grid view.
there we go. And then I want to stop share, grid view. Okay.
Nice. Look at all those
So, everyone's,
cats.
so I see up at the top, I see a great little cat. Yeah, a lot of cats. That's great. Okay, so that was far too much time. Let's do it again, everybody.
That was
Uh,
far too much time.
Yeah, it was. So let's go. Now you're gonna have half the time, 20 seconds, draw the same thing again. So if you drew a cat, you've got 17 seconds left to
Oh,
draw.
oh my God, we're starting already. Okay, 20
Sorry,
seconds.
I gotta say go. So well, 17 is still plenty of time. So here we go. I got my little draw my ears. My cat is just sitting. I saw some lovely cats before. I'm even gonna add some extra little Stripes on my cat. There we go. Time is up. So
Oh,
how do we do, Tom? What have you got? I can't.
I I got to change my background to show you, but I'm happy to show also.
So see, oh, I see. So let me see the second one. Oh, that was nice. Alice, yeah, that's great. Robin, like, see, you did a cat. Um, Lots of cats. It's so great. This is my first one. This is my second one.
Oh, that's
I
a
think
bad
you can
one.
tell which one I did in the least amount of time. But we're gonna do it just one more time, and hopefully this will all feel warmed up and great after this. But let's just like, I'm gonna say go this time. When I say go, you've got 7 seconds.
7?
So everyone get your pencils ready and go. Now I lost a whole second trying to pick my pencil up. Oh my God. Yeah, this stresses the people out. But here.
Totally
Okay,
stressed.
stop. How do we do? Did anyone get one? Anyone do okay? Let's see. There, I see right there that Chris, that's a cat. Nancy, is that your third one all the way over on the end? Yep. Now, what tends to happen in this is a couple things. We become slightly less self-conscious about what our drawings look like because we only have 7 seconds, so we don't think about it too much. But also like we'll get a little closer to like finding that symbol that of that thing. And like that's the way I think about cartooning. I think of your drawings as symbols as if like you're writing with your drawings. And I'm going to get a bit more into that. Let me just get the share back on and we'll go back to the slideshow. So let's play the slideshow. This is a funny meme, and I'm sharing it with you. So over here on the left of the screen is a nice looking sock. Says how people see the work of writers and artists. Looks like a nice puffin. Looks great. And there on the right is how writers and artists see their own work. And it looks like garbagey inside out. And this is true. This is how I feel. And I've been making comics a long time. Tom, I don't know if you feel this way.
Oh
This
my
is just
God.
this is how people feel. Because I saw everyone's drawings in the chat and I thought they all looked awesome. But people tend to, see all the flaws and stuff like that. We all draw like ourselves. And one thing that I feel I had to learn to do was just accept that I'm always going to draw like myself. And I just feel like we need to become the best version of ourselves. So the next thing we're going to do is draw a drawing of ourselves. So this one's not timed, but I'm going to stop the share
Not
and
fun.
show you in the book. So here's a little drawing of me. This little character here, this little cartoon of me, I use him all the time in all sorts of little diary comics that I'll post online or like, the little comic essays I put somewhere. So I would like everyone to make a little drawing of themselves. We'll just take a couple minutes for this one, and I'll do another little one. I'll do one as well. But this little character is very simple looking. And as I said, I use it all the time in comics. But it actually is something I had to figure out over a period of time of like creating little cartoons with it, like the way of drawing this, like that like works the best for me. So like I developed it over just continually making comics. When I draw work with kids, it's interesting. I don't know if anyone here feels this way. Sometimes people don't feel comfortable drawing themselves. Sometimes kids are a lot more comfortable just drawing a character they like to draw, and that's perfectly fine as well. So if you have a character that you like to draw that you wouldn't mind putting into a comic, then go ahead and draw that too. For me, I'm not sure why. It might be because the comics that I really got into comics reading were like those autobio comic stuff, like like late 90s throughout the aughts type things. It's really like my bread and butter. And so I don't feel self-conscious at all about drawing comics where I'm the main character. In fact, I sometimes wonder if I do better in this career if I stop doing it. There's the little drawing of me. All
Oh, look
right.
at.
You can see that I'm happy there. Well, yeah, it doesn't look that great. Like it's a bit stiff, but you know.
So I have a quick interruption question. Can
Yep.
you show that again? Is it always, can you show it again? Is
Yep.
it 3 bloops on the bottom, bloops on the back, and 2 bloops front? You know what I mean?
Yep, that is the my Mickey Mouse. Like it has the two bloops, the little cowlick at the top, and the. I wish I could sort of draw it so a way you guys could see it happening. I'll try. I don't know if I can get the camera to go that way. But yeah, I don't know. Tom, you have a character too, right? I mean, but
Sort of draw myself like Hutch Owen
yeah.
character. I never really got myself.
So yeah, it's
Fun.
for me. It's like there. It looks wonky because I'm holding it weird. But yeah, I always do the same way. Like it's like I draw the little hair, and like, big nose.
Fun.
Let's see. Has anyone got one? Let's go to the. Let's see. Danya, nice. Sea Crane, good. Does anyone here actually like have that feeling of like doesn't want to Oh, Katrina, I love it. Yeah, I can see. Well, yeah, you guys are. Oh, that's a good one there. Div, that's funny. That's good. Uh, so, oh, Lana, that was that's with the cat. We're
Yeah.
creating a whole story now. It's building. Well, that's great. So, the next thing we're gonna do, and remember, usually I'm talking to kids who are maybe not that familiar with comics. But I'm gonna walk you through a little bit about like my thoughts about how cartooning works, and then we'll write a short little story using comics. Using just a short little 2-panel thing. So, am I sharing? I am, right?
Mhm.
Gotta
Let's
keep.
start.
Sorry. Play slideshow. So there's me again. Hi, my name is Mike Dawson. I'm the author of this middle grade book, The Fifth Quarter. I'm going to read you a comic. It's called Simple Tips and Rules for Making Comics. Does anyone here know what that is that's falling? That's an anvil. And kids know that because of Minecraft. Apparently, it's a big part of Minecraft.
Uh,
So here we go. Simple tips and rules. If a cartoon character has been hit in the head, you want to draw stars. You want to show that iron anvil cracked him right on the top of the head. And their body goes all wobbly like jelly. You can show that with some simple wavy lines. And if a cartoon character's glasses have fallen off, that means they're now completely blind and they can't see anything at all. And if a cartoon character's now been hit in the nose or the face, well, you want to draw lightning bolts because you want to show it's more of a shooting pain. Let's see what else. I'm already running out of things to talk about. Oh, if you can't think of a way to end a comic, you can always just,
Oh
there
no.
you go. Problem solved. Perfect ending to a perfect comic. So, obviously, that was just a silly comic about a giant anvil falling out of the sky and flattening me. But now we've read a comic together. Let's talk about how comics work. So, comics are usually words and pictures that tell a story. Now, not every comic uses words, but you'll often see them inside word balloons and caption boxes, sound effects. Comics frequently use words, but not in the same way that a regular book does. So you can see here, this is what that same sequence with the falling anvil would look like if you read about it in a normal book. It says Mike is stylishly dressed. He has a fashionable haircut. Now, the words here are being used to explain and describe. Now, as cartoonists, you could put a big chunk of text like this into your comics, but I feel like most of your readers would only skim it. So rather than having all those words that describe what's happening, a comic is told through pictures. You read the drawings that you see inside the panels. Here we can see the anvil falling, and we can see the handsome character who has lost his glasses. But importantly, comic is also all the things that happen in between the panels. Here you see the anvil falling and you see the aftermath, but what nobody here actually sees is what happened in between. But you, the reader, you fill that in, you tell that part of the story to yourself. So we're going to write a simple 2-panel comic. Let me stop share and I'll show you what we're going to do. So what I normally have is everyone's going to make 2 panels. So you can see here, this is that same 2-panel comic. There's an anvil falling, and there's me cracking. And everyone just do the same thing. We're going to write a simple 2-panel thing, anything you want to write about. But I have found that sports is a great one to do. Just someone who kicks a ball, it goes into a net in panel 2. Or another fantastic thing to do is someone gets hurt. Someone's walking, they fall down a manhole. That's always a great thing to do. And what I like to talk to kids about at this point is 2 things. I always want to encourage the action in a simple, like 2-panel thing like this to move from this side, the left, over to the right. That someone's walking. Now, this obviously isn't a rule, but I just find that if you're doing like something where you're simple action happening, I don't know if you can see that, just a little stick man, that the eye is going to go that same way, and it's going to be more comfortable for the reader to just sort of flow along with it. And the other thing that I love to point out to kids because when you're writing a simple comic, a lot of times uh people use motion lines. So there's a basketball. And you probably all know this here, but I'm just used to doing my spiel, so I apologize. But the motion line shows where an object has been, not where it's going. And that's something that kids will often get backwards. So if this ball
Hmm.
is dropping, that means you can read it there, it's falling. Because frequently kids will write a comic and they'll sort of draw those lines to sort of like tell you that's where it's going. And obviously it's the opposite. So I think everyone here probably does know that. So take your time to draw. I'm just going to read two or three other slides while you're drawing, and then we'll,
So we should be doing a two-panel comic.
yeah,
Okay. Two-panel
two-panel comic. And if we can get it, so I would like to try to read it. Uh, without anyone telling me what's happening in it. So we'll try our best with the sharing.
and if
Uh,
you can make someone getting hurt in it, then bonus.
Always good. Uh, okay, actually, I'm going to stop sharing. Okay,
Oh wait, you're not sharing? Okay.
I'm not sharing. No, so everyone feel free to make a comic. I'm going to do one as well. Two panels.
All right. Uh,
Low pressure.
someone getting hurt.
All right, there we go. There's my guy. Yeah.
Do you have a
Uh,
go-to? If you've done this workshop a bunch, do you have a go-to that you always draw, or
no,
do you change?
I rarely actually do it because normally I'll be moving around like the
Oh,
group. And it's great to try to, as I said, like try to understand what's happening without someone telling me. Because I feel that comics is a great big part of comics is clarity. So if it's clear what the action is, then I should be able to read it, and I'll try to interpret everyone's comics. And usually it goes just fine. Um, the reason I say to draw someone getting hurt is because that just seems to be where everyone goes. So, so here we go. And then, yeah, so okay. I came up with one. I'll share it and then we'll try to share a few. So is this is not backwards, right? It's
oh, it's
readable?
forwards. Look at my big shadow. Oh no.
Yeah, it was a giant foot coming from behind him. How do I go to let's see. How do we do
The upper right, if you want a gallery view, is that what you want? Or
yeah,
you want
yeah, there we go. Perfect gallery. Oh, great. Okay. Does anyone have one they'd like to hold up? Okay. Let's see. I'm looking at Emma. So sorry, the gallery moved. So there's a mermaid swimming and an anchor falls. Perfect. Who's got one? So Nancy, let's see. You hold it a little closer.
you can spotlight too if you like, Mike. But
Oh,
I think
okay. Well, I see. Oh, I see. Yeah, the person's walking with a cane. They fall down and they break their arm. Okay, Kathy, the little bird, and then that bird gets eaten. See, it's I told you, it's a the worst. Everyone have a bad outcome. It always works well. Tom, let's see. Oh, where something's falling. So in the first panel, we just see that something is falling. And so in the second panel, we somebody has now hit the floor. Sonia, I see. I'm seeing that someone's getting out of a car behind them. And was they throw something at the back of the head? Is that what's happening? Yeah, is that what someone hit in the back of the head? Laura. So, oh, here we go. We go down that manhole. We skip ahead a bit. So we're down the manhole. Yeah, we're trying to get back. Someone come notice us as we're falling down this thing. We can fill in what took happened in between. That's great. Let's see, Judith. Yeah. What was this? So, no, don't go. Oh, and then yeah. So someone leaves. I'm actually, yeah, I like the way that it's actually going
Mm.
towards the to the left on that. Yeah, that's great. Sad. Alice? Yeah. So what happened? We're picking up this little bird, and then this bird attacks us. That's excellent.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna read one more. Killane. So there's a cat in the back. It's just hanging out on the fridge, and then now it's on top of our head. That's excellent. Jackie. So what's Jackie? We're walking, we're holding, what are we holding? We're holding a bird, an animal cat, and then we've sat
Poppy,
down. What's up?
Poppy, Poppy,
Okay. Oh,
Poppy.
yeah. Oh, it's a poppy.
It's a
And
Poppy.
coffee, and then spilled. I see, yeah.
Drop. Yes, like
Yeah, dropped it.
fallen.
And we look
Yes,
sad.
yes.
That's excellent. That's worked well. So if it's okay, I'm going to walk through a little bit more of my slideshow, and then we're going to write a longer comic. Uh,
Oh,
so a 4 panel one. Do we have time for that? Or yeah, because you
yeah,
went
definitely.
sharing at 7:45, right? Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, but I'm going to talk for a little bit if that's all right. Um, so let me just put the share back on. And so this is nice. Comics can be about anything. Anybody, when I was a kid in the mid 80s and 90s, and I said I like comics, people invariably thought that I must like Spider-Man. And they were right. I did like Spider-Man. Kids today are more into Dogman, but there are no rules that say comics have to be about any one kind of a thing. And it's kind of an interesting thing. Tom will know this, that I feel like this was like something that we felt very much like we had to prove at a certain point, like the late
Yeah.
90s, early 2000s. Like, it was like very much like it's not just Spider-Man. So
Mhm.
now we live in this golden age, especially when you're talking to younger readers, like
Yeah.
the amount of books and the different perspectives, different writers making comics right now is like it's insane. And I just tell the kids all the time, I'm so jealous that I didn't have these kinds of things to read when I was so young as them. I've written a graphic novel. It's called The Fifth Quarter. The story is the main character name is Lori. She plays on a fourth grade travel basketball team, but she is not that good. So she only gets to go in during what's called the fifth quarter. It's an extra period at the beginning of every game where the points don't count, the not so good kids get a chance to play. And Lori she's determined to get good enough to play in the quote unquote real game, score a point that counts. So I'm going to read a couple pages from the book. This is a 2-page spread. My book is only about 230 pages long. I used up 2 whole pages for this spread. And I don't know if you can see at the top because I know sometimes Zoom cuts off. But can we see how many words are on this page?
I just see the word ready.
Yeah, one word. There's one word now, but is that all the information that we're getting in those 2 pages? It's not. We see obviously they're playing basketball. We can see it's the beginning of the game. We can see they're in some sort of school gym type of thing. We can make out other players in the back. There's obviously a lot of information that's presented there that isn't told through that one word. I'm going to read a couple pages. The game is beginning. This is my main character. Her name is Lori. Number one, she's jumping around. She's saying she's open. Down below, those are her parents. They're encouraging her. A little bit more game actions happening. Those are Lori's coaches. They're shouting out instructions. Now Lori gets the ball. Boom. She catches it, but we can see on her face she's kind of unsure about what to do with it. But here she goes. She's dribbling. She's dribbling. The whistle blows. I don't know if any basketball players here. Any guesses why the whistle blew? It's the referee. He says, Tom, do you know?
Uh,
Double.
well, it was double dribble. I was gonna say it was the end of the
A
quarter.
double dribble, green ball,
Uh,
and we can see the ball goes to the other team, and we can see on Lori's face she feels kind of embarrassed. But her parents are still encouraging her. Later on in the quarter, 2 minutes left to go. Lori gets the ball once more. Everyone yells, shoot, shoot. So quickly, because the other team is defending, Lori gets off a shot and she scores a basket. And we can see that Lori's thrilled. So very briefly, let's review the different ways we saw the character feeling in just that short sequence. So here she was ready to go. Here she was when she didn't know what to do. Here she was when she felt sad and embarrassed. And here she was caught up in the thick of the game. So we saw Lori feeling all those different ways in just those few pages. And again, I didn't use words to tell you how the character felt. You could just see it. The drawings were telling you the story. So I'm going to talk a tiny bit about character design because this is a character that I love drawing. And if you're writing a long comic, particularly a graphic novel, you better love to draw your main character because it's terrible to design a character that you don't really like drawing, or even worse, and I do think this probably happens more than you'd expect, a character you find kind of hard to draw. I love Laurie's big thick eyebrows and her puff of hair, and it's a pleasure to every panel I draw with her is great. But we have to design our characters. We have to figure out like what they're going to look like, and you can see these very, very early sketches don't look at all the same as the character that I have at the end, like in the actual book. Maybe I have these eyebrows, but nothing much else. But I play around. I play around with different shapes for the heads. I try out different hairstyles, and I try to find that thing that I like drawing, like I said, as well as the thing I could draw more than one time. So here I am getting a lot closer. I've not quite there yet, but I found the ponytail. I found this center part. I'm not totally set on it, but I've put a square around the one that I'm starting to like. Now, here's another main character. You can see there's Lori there on the left, and that's her father standing next to her. So he's another main character. He also had to be designed. This is what they ended up looking like in the story, and that's what her little brother and sister ended up looking like. I have a little joke here where I say, they just had the phones in front of their faces, and all the parents always laugh knowingly. Other characters in the book, I had to design the coaches, all these different girls who play on the team with Lori and against her, and so on. And importantly, she has a group of close friends. It's a book about friendship. So she's moving in over here on the right, and Maddie, Suzanne, Elise, and Sophia, these four girls here are her friends. Now, the reason that I'm talking right now about character design is that with so many of them in one story, it's important that the reader can instantly tell who is who and not get confused about who's talking and who the action's happening to. And that's actually something I find does happen sometimes in comics and graphic novels. So even though I draw in this very clean, uncluttered, not very busy style, none of the characters actually look the same as the other. They each have their own design. So here's a fun little trick, Tom. I don't know if you've ever already presented this at and other past workshops. It's called the silhouette test. It's not a rule, it's just a fun trick to try. These aren't famous characters, but you can tell them apart. You can see that they're different characters easily. But if I put them in silhouette, can you still identify them? Some of them maybe yes. Over here on the left, the long nose and the wavy hair, you can tell who that is. And the next girl over with the pointy hair at the bottom. Now there's one over here, second from right. Not really. Like if you just saw her on her own, out of context, you may not be able to recognize that character, but you can definitely see the one on the end with the big mane of spiky hair. This silhouette test is not a rule in comics. It's not something that anybody has to do. It's just a fun way to think about coming up with your own memorable character designs if you're making a comic where that kind of thing is important, which isn't every comic. And then I have this cheap slide here, which is so good for getting kids excited, but it does feature some famous characters. So we put this up, and everyone yells and screams, and I take a minute to calm them down. We recognize that we're seeing Mickey Mouse. We can see Captain Underpants. Now, do any of the adults here know who's down on the bottom there? Tom, do you know?
Is it the thing from Adventure Time? Is it Finn?
Nope.
Huh. I don't know. Oh, it's a minion, somebody says in the chat.
No, it's Among Us.
Among Us.
A video game called Among Us.
That's what somebody else said it. Elias got it, right.
And the great thing, and I
Jackie.
think it'll sort of pull a little bit of attention to the
No,
Among Us.
actually, a lot of people got it right. Sorry.
So I like to call attention to that because the Among Us guy is not a complicated character design. It's just this little jelly bean man wearing a pair of goggles and a backpack, and all kids, not adults, can identify it. And it just shows that a character design doesn't need to be complicated or in order to be recognizable. At this point, we could do this if we have time. We'll do it just for a few minutes. A great thing I like to think about, I'm going to do a stop share, is some characters are extremely well designed and, so they're super recognizable. But I found I go to schools and sometimes they'll ask me to draw a character. And I love that when you draw a character that's famous and recognizable, it doesn't look right because you're not the person who draws it, but it still does look right. It looks right and wrong at the same time. So everyone can you somewhat see me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to draw this shape. Now, can everyone see that shape?
Yeah.
So when I do that, does anyone know who I'm trying to draw?
Yeah, they're getting it in the chat already.
Is that SpongeBob, anybody? Did anyone say it in the chat, SpongeBob?
SpongeBob, 6 or 7. Yep.
Yes. It's SpongeBob, yes, because SpongeBob is obviously a famous, recognizable character, but he's also, he's a well-designed character. So everyone just for like 1 minute. Actually, you know what? While I'm talking through the next part of my things, I have about 10 more minutes of slideshow, and then I want everyone to feel like, we can do some drawing and tell our stories. Um, Everyone draw their best SpongeBobs, but
Okay.
I draw SpongeBob, and it always looks like off-brand SpongeBob. It doesn't look right. But all the kids, participants will do it too, and it's just like a good, like a fun thing to do. But okay, so
So while you're talking, draw your best off-brand SpongeBob.
although I have a question for you, Tom, do you want me to skip ahead a little bit because
Oh,
you
go
said
ahead. You're fine.
we're okay? Okay,
It's
okay, because I just know you wanted to get everyone to have time to share.
well, since we've been sharing as we go, that's helpful.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. So I'm just gonna talk a little bit about uh finding inspiration. I talked a little tiny bit about publishing because I like to make the point. I talk about making zines. Probably a lot of folks in here know about like self-publishing. It's an easy thing to do. But when you're young, I hope that kids just feel like comfortable just making stuff because it's fun to make stuff. And that's kind of like I think the key to like doing it more when you're older is to enjoy it. And I have a little comic about that, which I'll skip over for now. I want to talk a bit about like writing diaries. Putting down work in a sketchbook. Probably some people do this. I think it's a great way to find inspiration and generate ideas. This is a book I read when I was young. It's called The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, age 13 and 3/4, and it was written by an author named Sue Townsend and published all the way back in 1982. And back then it was my favorite book, and it's still basically my favorite book now. It holds up. This is the main character. He's just a regular kid dealing with problems at home, problems at school, and just the general problems of being 13 years old. But Adrian wrote down all of the things that happened to him in a diary. Adrian was a writer, and reading this book, I found myself relating to this character a lot. And kids today, they have their own fictional diaries about fictional characters they read, and they probably have similar experiences where they laugh at the things that happen to them, but they also do understand what it's like to be those characters. As I said, I related to this fictional character of Adrian Mole a great deal, and I started keeping a diary. This is the cover to it. The Secret Diary of Michael Dawson, age 10. Basically, my first book. And this is what a lot of my early entries were like. Just regular stuff about having to go to school, having to do my homework, worrying about getting detention, watching TV, having a little sister who threw tantrums. This isn't a particularly well written or the most like best thing ever put down on paper, but the important thing was I was starting to write about my life, starting to see the world as a writer. So this is a habit that I've kept up. This is a diary comic that I drew somewhat more recently. It's me doing yoga at home, and my children thought it was very funny to put the guinea pigs on my back. And I said, get him off my back before he pees, because I don't know if anyone here had guinea pigs, but that's all they do. Not like the greatest thing in the world, but I love about writing that even this dumb thing that I wrote down, I'm now here today sharing it with you like years later. It's like the best thing about like putting things down on paper. Here's one more little diary comic. It's features my son. He's probably about in third grade at this time, and he says, "Daddy, let me show you, quote unquote, my move." He says, I say, "Okay." He says, "Stand still." And he's running around. He's running around. He's going to show me his move, and whack, he just smacked me in the middle of the back. I dropped my phone. And I said, "That's not a move. That was just me standing still, and you whacked me in the back." And he says, "That was my move." One last one. This is me taking my very first surf lessons last summer. It says, I'm up, I did it. I'm riding the world's tiniest wave. It says, I got a double rush, once from catching my very first wave, and then a second time from being complimented by somebody who was young and cool. It was the 20-year-old that I was paying to instruct me. He said, "Wow, bro, that was amazing. You're incredible at this." And I think, I am. So the more you make a habit of writing, the more ideas you'll get. Writing generates more writing. So I'm going to show one great example of that, and then we're going to write a short little comic based on just anything that happened in our lives. So remember that little scene I showed you from the fifth quarter? Lori gets the ball, everyone yells to shoot. She shoots, and she scores a basket. Now I'm going to show a little bit of video. This is just something I recorded years ago, long before I had the idea to write my book, The Fifth Quarter. So here's the gymnasium, like we saw. These are little fourth grade girls in their big baggy clothes. And one of them gets the ball. And I don't like that you could hear me go ooh on that because it's a bit embarrassing, but I love they have this video because my daughter played on a fourth grade travel basketball team. This is a photo of her with her team. She's down on the lower left, number 1. This photo was taken back in February of 2018. And back then, I didn't know anything about basketball. I didn't grow up playing it. I didn't grow up watching it. But as I wrote about in this diary comic, basketball had just become something my daughter was developing a passion for. It says I didn't often take video at her games, so I was lucky to catch that moment. It was her first and truthfully only basket scored that season. She was playing on a fourth grade team. They took it seriously. They were coached to win. And for a kid who's a little bit shy, it was amazing to me to see how sports could build confidence. Now, this comic goes on to talk about how my experience with sports and gym class was very different when I was growing up. That's a drawing of me in the 80s in my Batman t-shirt, and it wasn't cool back then. And that's my gym coach. He's making fun of me because they were allowed to do that in those days. This comic is looking at 2 parts of my life. My younger years when I hated gym class, and then myself in present day, seeing my own daughter grow and develop as an athlete and seeing sports raise up her self-esteem rather than tearing it down. So it was after I wrote this diary comic, when I looked back on it, I saw the part of it that just wasn't about me. The part of it that was about a little kid who liked something, was passionate about something, but wasn't that good yet, but was determined to get better. I realized that there could be a whole story there. There could be a story about a not so good kid and her journey to get better. And I just simply wouldn't have had the idea if I hadn't first just been making it a habit in my life to write down things that happen, just regular stuff that goes on in my life. And it's a habit that I started when I was 10 years old. So usually I'm talking to groups of little kids and I say, if you walk away from this workshop with anything in mind, it's just if you start to put things down on paper, you might find it leads you places that, you never thought you'd get to. It would generate some inspiration that you wouldn't have expected. So let's all start now. Let's make a 4-panel comic. I'm done talking now with the slideshow. We now have time. We're going to make a short comic just about our lives. I'll try to do one as well. But yeah, again, usually I don't actually do one because I'm just moving around. But yeah, anything that happened recently, today, doesn't need to be that good because a not so great comic might lead to a better comic. And also often I find that like after you got panel 1 down, a new idea comes for panel 2.
How long should we take for this?
About 10 minutes and then we're going to share. Would that seem about right?
That sounds good.
Okay.
10 minutes. That is
Is that too long?
No.
Okay.
We
Is
got
that too
you.
short?
All we need is 15 seconds per panel, right?
Okay, well, so I appreciate everybody sitting through the slideshow, but yeah, I hope now we're in the mood to make some comics. Now and I'm gonna put myself on mute, otherwise I'll be compelled to keep talking.
Okay. All right. All right. So everybody's got 10 minutes. 43 minutes.
Did you do one, Tom?
I did. I whipped it out really fast. I tried to take inspiration. I'll even show you if you want to see.
Yeah.
It's really sad because you encouraged me to recognize that it's okay to draw badly and it's okay to, well, draw badly. So so I wrote, and let's see if we can see this. Maybe I'll even spotlight myself while people finish. Save replace spotlight. Okay. So it says, once I was asked to draw SpongeBob and I drew it horribly. That's panel one. And then I wrote, once I was asked to draw a twisting person and it looked like a pile of poo. So that's panel two. Then it says, once I was asked to come up with an epic idea and all I could think of was a puddle. And then panel four, and I had to draw them too. So that is my, and that could be a graphic novel, right? A young adult
Yeah,
graphic
I
novel
think so.
about not being able to draw well. Maybe that is what I should do.
I'm gonna show you mine.
Okay, great. Let's see. Are you spotlight? Yes, you are. And then we'll ask for some other sharing.
The
Oh, look
first-
at the dog with the cone
The
of
first panel says the dog had his snip operation, so he has to have a cone. So there he is in his cone. And then, so it's saying he doesn't seem to be an invalid, and there he is smacking me in the back of the leg with his cone. I'm saying, ah, he's a big dog.
Oh,
The vet, I don't know, can you see this stuff? It says the
Yep.
vet gave us pills, sedatives to give him, and I say, here you go. And it's pointed to the thing, says the pills wrapped in ham. Says this will put you to sleep. There he is, he's getting his little sedative. And then in the last panel, it says they aren't working. And then this is a girl, she's come in and says, arrow point at her, it's my daughter's friend. She has her teenage friend over, and the dog, she says, the dog peed on me. And it's going, woof, woof, Jeff. And I'm saying, I don't have time for this. I have to do my saw workshop. I think this was happening moments before I came on.
Oh my God. You have to do a whole collection of pets peeing, clearly. Because
Very funny.
it keeps coming back. Leanne
Oh.
says you show the whole thing real quick, so maybe just all four really.
Oh yeah, sure. So there's the whole thing. It's a little, yeah, and I actually like, as I said, I don't often actually do it, but it was like I didn't have an idea, and then an idea came to me by panel 3. That's what it's kind of
Oh,
like.
really? Oh, by panel 3.
Yeah, well, I knew, yeah, I was writing about, him and his cone.
Oh man. Okay. So well, we can, if people, it's only been 8 or 9 minutes, so we're really close to that edge.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean to rush anybody. Sorry.
But if people want to share, I don't know if Judith and Kristen, they've had their hand up a while. I'm not sure if that's actually a legit wanting to share or not. But if anyone else wants to share, you can do that. We'll go for a little bit since we've been sharing all afternoon. Nikki says, call it golden rain when pets pee in unexpected places. Looks like Danya wants to share. Should we just take a look?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Am I able to spotlight you? Sorry. Okay.
Let's see, what does it say, Danya? You can drink the coffee daily. Oh, wait. Oh, damn it. You fell asleep on your iPad. I think I would love to discover a book of comics about coffee that big. I think I can drink and just read one a day, because with my coffee. I can't hear Danya. I don't know. We're getting good mind.
I can't hear you that well, Danya. Are you, is your microphone on? I think you're
Now
on.
you're muted. Let
You're
me
on
see.
mute.
Unmute. Hang on. Trying to unmute, but that I don't think that you were unmuted before, and I don't think it was working. But that's okay because it was all good in pantomime. Alice says I would read the crap out of a coffee book. Thanks, Danya. We'll go on to Jason next, and then Colleen. Thank you. All right, Jason.
See if I can get this right here. Share. And it's on the right hand side, I think.
What's that,
Can you
Jason?
see over here? Can you see over here on the right?
No.
Are you trying to share your screen?
Yeah. How about now? Nothing?
No, I have to give you that permission. Hang on, Jason.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
there we go. Give it a try now.
Okay. I think it's still working. Try it again. Share screen. Broadcast. Start broadcast.
There you go.
Should be there. Going. See it? Anybody?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, pool.
Oh, this is a
Cool.
good angle. One
You
shot.
see the 4 panels?
Yep.
Does it
You got
make
it in.
sense?
Somebody, you one shot got all of them in?
No, you just have to get the 9-ball in to win.
Oh, okay.
9-ball, which is the only game we play here.
Excellent.
And you got the 9-ball in one shot?
I've actually done it 133 times so far.
So in the third panel, I would assume that's the person playing against you. And they're looking a little bit sort of, oh,
I should have put some motion in there, like he's like swinging, like his
is he
board,
mad?
like no, he's like excited, thinking it might go in.
Oh, so is that you?
Yeah, the shooter, whoever. Yeah.
Okay, so as I was reading, yeah, so I thought it was someone who was looking at, because the first 2 panels had me sort of feeling I'm like from your perspective. But yeah,
Yeah, then it switched.
yeah, so it sort of flipped around.
But you're right. The 4th panel comes back to my perspective again.
Right.
Yeah, so
So third panel.
so
Awesome.
excellent.
Thanks, Jason. We'll go to Nancy next, and then whoever else has a hand up. Thank you.
Okay, I wasn't quite ready to go. So this is about Max, the kitty. It's backwards, so I have to read it. Max needed to go to the vet. I'm just going to sort of summarize it maybe. I decided to practice putting him into the large cat rolling cat carrier. He didn't fit. So there's Max's butt. Then you can immobilize a cat, even a giant cat, by scruffing him like a mama cat. Then I purchased a small dog rolling carrier and shoved him into it. Meow. Success. I am a proud, childless cat lady. And Max says, get me out of here.
Did the line at the end come to you as you were writing it?
No, I've been thinking about that, obsessing about that line for days now.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought, because I in reference to the news, but yeah, I was wondering for the
Yeah.
Thanks,
Okay.
Nancy. Okay,
Sure.
we'll go to Colleen, Kathy, and then Eli. Here's-
Yeah, childless cat ladies unite.
Yay.
I guess it's backwards. So I got a knee brace today, and obviously I haven't looked at it, so I don't know how to like draw it yet. But I'm gonna have bionic powers. And then I'm gonna have superhuman strength to watch Zoom meetings. Third one of the day, but still, this is the most awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome.
I really like the third panel is very funny with the picking up the car. That's very
Well, when you have these normal things, you immediately think of this could be better.
Awesome. Thanks, Colleen. We'll go to Kathy next, and then Eli.
Okay, so can you see this? Throw this around. The car should be turned around. I realize it's facing the wrong way. We all know that. But we took a road trip to Oregon. We saw a lot of books and tattoos. The road down the coast was beautiful until the warning light came on.
You have to tell us what happened. What was the warning light?
You got to stay tuned, right? That was my 4 point.
Can you hold
That's
it
the
up again?
point, right? To make you want to keep reading.
Can you hold it up again? Because I had a
Yeah.
slight issue with my Zoom,
Alright.
so
Sorry, it's a little.
I like the. That's great. I like the jumping in and out of the like outside the car, and then the last one where all the expressions on the face. It's funny, yeah. Like what is going to happen next?
Thanks, Kathy.
Thank
Okay, we'll
you.
go to Eli next, then Alun, then Judith, and Katrina. There you go.
Hi. I spent 3 days at the Yuba River in the Sierras having so much fun. But then today I had to go back to work. And I was hoping to have a short Friday, but this hedge was so overgrown, there was no way I could wait to work on it. And oh crap, these grasses need to get trimmed too. And so I spent the whole day engulfed in foliage and having to put my hood up so the stuff wouldn't. Oh, there's a leaf right now. So this wouldn't go down my shirt. So I didn't get to eat lunch and I didn't get to take any breaks, and I had to go up and down the stairs a million times and out to the street to get ladders and tools. But in the end, perfection.
Yeah, I just like I love so the first panel we're like looking up, like we see like these towering bushes, and then like in panel 3, like where it's all around you, like it's interesting like how it fills the whole panel, and then I like in that last one it's all clean, the lines are clean. I love the composition like down in that lower right corner. That's excellent.
Thanks. This is really fun. It's a great class.
Awesome, Eli, thanks. Okay, Alun next, and then Judith.
Okay, well, as usual, I did mine on my computer. If I can share, let's see.
Yeah, you should be able to. Alun.
There we go. So I don't know. I've been any good recent things. The first thing that came to mind for whatever reason was something from years ago from my childhood. So I drew something about something that we did as a child. It says when my siblings and I were when my siblings and I were young, we would often build complicated mazes out of Legos with lots of hinged or rotating moving parts. And put ball bugs that we found in the yard inside to see if they could find their way through. That's what we called them at the time. You may know them better as pill bugs or roly-polies. The art was really rushed, obviously, but oh well. Alas, not all the ball bugs survived the experience. But we had a rationalization for that. The ones that died weren't real ball bugs. They were bad guys' helpers in disguise. No, I'm not sure who the bad guy was. But so anyway, there we go. Just a little bit from my childhood. So
I'm amazed you managed to do that right in that amount of time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's intense thinking about those bad.
Yeah, the bad guys' helpers. If they died, those were the bad guys' helpers, so they deserved it.
Well, what did you do?
Okay, thanks, Alun. We'll go to Judith next. Here we go.
Okay. It's a little scribbly, so I don't know if you could see it, but the first page is, the first one is, testing positive. It shows the temperature is
Oh,
38 point something. We do it Celsius here. And then it's week 1 and it's really high, 38.5. And I'm kind of crying. And then week 3, actually afterward, by the time I got to week 4, I realized that I should have just drawn the numbers, not the words.
Uh-huh. What do you mean draw the numbers? The number on the
I wrote out the words, and then afterward I realized I should just, for the numbers, word out,
Okay.
just have, anyway, you know how like you halfway through you say, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
And then on week 2, I'm already just asleep all the time, high fever. And then week 3, it's better and I'm able to scroll. And then week 4, I'm able to draw. And the fever is down to normal. So that's kind of what's been happening. It's like a total, what do you call it, in the moment autobiography. But rushing to do that is very, you see the first time around how you're going to make it better, actually, I think.
Well, so if I was in a group like a workshop thing, what I would comment on is I love how you're using the thermometer symbol at the bottom.
Well, the thing is,
like-
I haven't lived here my whole life, and it took me years to figure out what Celsius was, because I've
But
always,
it's also like to have that, like it's not in the composition, like it's not part of like the environment. It's just a separate symbol, just that's delivering information to us.
Exactly.
and it's, you know, you read it in the right order, you see it below each panel, so it provides you that information in a sort of interesting way. Glad
Thanks.
you feel better.
Yeah, be well.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll go to Katrina next. Here we go.
I have a backpack for my Chihuahua. And so this is the first one. Oh, I'm a penguin. And it says, "Ready, Remy, let's go." And then the second one is zoom. And like he's barking. And there's all these geese and ducks and they're quacking. And then it's no hands, wee. And then we're back home. Oh, this is all backwards. It says, did you
It's not backwards for us.
oh, okay. Did you have fun? What? Did you have a fun outing, Remy? And he's just like passed out.
Did he enjoy it when you went no hands?
Oh, I think so. I don't know.
Love that character design. Thanks, Katrina. We'll go to Doc Hoff next. Let's see. And then Christian after this. There we go.
All right. This last week, I went to a corporate event where it was a motivational speaker. Let's see if I can get this to focus right. And he's basically saying, be the best, be smarter, be faster. I read at least 10 books a year. And here's down here how much I feel like a loser. Not really motivated really positively. And then makes these statements. Remember, leaders are readers. What kind of leader are you? And you know, I'm just thinking I'm not a very good one. And then how about you? And then I say, actually, I read about 10 books a week. And how are you able to do that? Well, they're all comics. And so there you go.
Now, did that joke come to you while you're working on it too? Or did you?
While I
really
was
happen?
sitting there during the
Okay.
conference, yeah.
Awesome, thanks. Okay, we'll
Uh-huh.
go to Christian next, if Christian's ready. Then after that, Jackie. Christian, are you there? Let's see.
Hi.
All right, here we go.
Hi. So, okay. So here's my portrait that I made. I don't know if you can see that well.
Oh, I can see it now. Yep.
Okay, and on top here, this is the first comic I made with the two panels. I don't know if you can see it. It says, "Ooh, look, somebody dropped their glasses." And it's
Oh,
based on something that happened last summer. And I go, yeah, ouch. I was looking for someone's glasses. When I thought I found one, I got nipped by a crab.
Oh, so it was the glasses though, right?
No,
It was a crab.
yeah. And here's my other, the one that I was working on just now. This I don't know if this is based on anything, but it's just my experience with some people in general, some people who are overly positive. Do you see here? Let me just read it to you. Hi, friend. Don't you just feel blessed? God has given us such a wonderful life to live and spread joy. Don't you ever think of how God wants to make your life special?
Is that panel 2?
This is panel 2,
Okay. Yep.
and this is panel 3,
Okay.
and here's panel 4. Nope, I'm too busy trying to avoid people who are overly positive. And this guy's like, oh,
But the expression works really well in that last panel. Like the expression is perfect.
yeah. And I heard you wanted us to draw a SpongeBob. Well, I had a SpongeBob already drawn
Oh yeah.
like a few weeks ago. It doesn't seem to be working right now. Oh,
I
here
can
it
see
is.
it now. There it is. Yeah, I can see you got one.
yeah.
You look good at it.
Thanks, Christian.
And you said you wanted us to send this to someplace?
Oh, it's in the chat. Scroll in the chat and you'll find plenty of places to share it.
Yeah.
Do that. Thanks. And we'll go to Jackie next. Thanks. And thanks for the voices. We like this.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I spent a little bit of time trying to think of the right name for by SpongeBob, like Spange Boob, Spang Dad, because I thought that those really make the knockoffs. This is my 4-panel comic. On Sunday, I was so psyched to go to Zine Camp. I'd been looking forward to it for months. Hope I have enough snacks to share. But we always spell it, the Zine Club, we always spell snacks with an X. Oh no.
No.
Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe you shouldn't come over to watch E. That's my daughter. She just barfed. Just go lie down, okay, honey? Okay. Great. I have a kid with special needs. Great. If only my 19-year-old if only my 19-year-old still didn't need supervision, I could totally go to my thing. I hope she's not too sick.
Are you cleaning it up? You're cleaning it up?
Yeah.
Is that like a bathroom in the background?
Yes.
Yeah, like a toilet kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's good composition. It's great and really good word balloon placement.
Thank you.
Bummer, Jackie. Did she have COVID?
No, it was like a one-off thing. I went for the last couple of minutes. When my husband got home from work, I got some swag, but next year.
All right. Next time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jackie. You're in Chicago. Was it a Chicago thing? Right? Oh, now you're muted. I'm sorry. But anyway, tell us in the chat. We'll talk about it. Okay. All right. We'll go to Lana next. Thanks, Jackie. There we go.
Okay. Tell me if you can see it or not. So first panel, a couple weeks ago, Mark bought a kayak. Now I have kayak envy. What I didn't expect, oh, and then it says, but that was expected. What I didn't expect was to fall in love with Rimrock, Arizona, where we bought the kayak. So now I'm shopping for a kayak and land. And my character is thinking, if only I had money.
That's excellent.
Okay, everybody send Lana some money.
Thank you.
Found out about folding kayaks this weekend. If you've never seen one, you should Google it. It's pretty amazing. Anyways, thanks, Lana. We'll go to Div next. Hi, Div. Okay.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. It's actually funny because for the first, like when we started drawing for the first 10 minutes, I couldn't think of anything because I don't like go out or do things. And I was like, what do I draw? And then I just came up with this after the drawing thing was over. But yeah, I'll just put on the light because it's kind of dark in here. I don't know if you can see. Oh, it's too bright.
There, I could say, oh, nice drawing.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
sweet spot. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so it says I haven't based in 3 days.
Oh, this is me.
And no one can know. And then this is the scene. And then I think it says, day 4 going strong. Yeah.
I love your character.
Thank you.
Really great. Thanks, Div. Thanks so much. We'll go to Sophia next, then Gabrielle. Sophia.
Crap.
Here we go.
Hi. Sorry, I wasn't ready.
Oh.
Okay. Can you see me? I also might not be that easy to see me. Okay, but that's fine. Okay, here's my comic. I don't know if you can see it that well. In the first panel, I'm on subway. The sun is setting. Second panel, there's some people painting on the street, and there's a sign that says free portraits. And I'm saying, oh wow. Then in the third panel, some people smiling, and I'm saying, oh wow, what a cool thing to come across by accident, totally by accident. And the last panel reader, it was not an accident, it was a carefully orchestrated coincidence. um,
Can you hold it closer to the screen? I just want to see.
sure, yeah, my camera is just not very good, so it might not be that visible.
So it was yeah, I could sort of see it. Yeah, no, but
Thanks, Sophia. Enjoy the day. It looks beautiful out there.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see Gabrielle next, and then Goatee, and then that'll be it.
Hi, everybody. So, as you can see, I've got my off-brand SpongeBob here at the top. I'm actually very proud of this. I think it looks awesome.
That does look really good.
Thank you. And so the comic I did was about yesterday or the other day, I don't remember. Thank you. When I went to the dog park with my mom to meet a family friend of ours. And it just says, we met my mom's friend Jay at the dog run the other day. There's the three of us, and there's his bulldog, French bulldog. We had a nice discussion about politics, and in parentheses, yes, really. And his dog Benson showed me some love, and there he is jumping up on me and me petting him and me showing the love. And I threw a slobbery ball for him. There's me very hesitantly playing fetch with this dog with a very salivated on ball. And that's that.
I love the body language, and I am drawing a comic right now with dogs. You did a really good job of the dog, the way the dog is looking up at that ball. Like focus on it.
Thank you.
That is a really wet ball too. I like that.
It felt like it.
Can I ask you a question about it?
Yes,
Are you
please.
supposed to indicate that the guy is your mother's boyfriend or just a friend?
Just a friend.
Okay, because if
was that
new
clear enough?
boyfriend, the entire everything that happened would have a charge of whether you liked him or whether the dog liked you. But just a friend, it's just a whole different thing. And I thought you meant her boyfriend. So that's all. I'm just saying that it's unclear there.
That's interesting. Thanks for sharing that.
Old enough so that I probably have a son your age or a grandson your age, and if I meet them with a guy, they're very nervous whether it's, what are they dealing with here? That's all I'm just saying.
All right. Well, just for context, my mom is still married and he's gay. So
Oh, okay. Well, good
Thanks,
for
Gabrielle. All right, we'll finish up with Marlene. Goatee. Here we go. Marlene, are you there? Oops, I'm not able to get her spotlight either. I don't know if she's hearing me. Marlene, Goatee. All right. I think she's frozen. I think Marlene is frozen. I think that's what's happening. Mike, we might have to just put you on the spotlight again.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, Marlene, we missed. Yep, she blacked out. Anyway, well, thanks, Mike. This was super fun. We all drew like so many drawings and panels and
good.
React sports and people getting hurt and SpongeBob and we learned about comics and it was really, really super fun. So
well,
what
I'm glad I don't do it over Zoom very often, so I'm glad that was actually like
nice.
So that was
yeah, it was super fun. So tell us one last time what we should go to a store and buy or go to some online store and buy.
You know what actually might be a cool thing for everyone, if anyone's interested. I do a monthly zine club through my Patreon. It's just $5 a month, and I'll send you a new zine every month. It's
Wow.
almost monthly zine club. Like, so this is an example of one that I sent out a little while back. So pretty, like, some of them are smaller than this. But I just have a lot of comics.
Wonderful. I put Mike Dawson Comics in the chat just now. Is that the right place to go, or is there a better link? And
I think it maybe links to it, but if just Patreon, it's on Patreon, Mike Dawson Patreon, but it's that way I can send you comics all the time. That's a cool thing to check out.
That sounds like a lot of work to be constantly sending comics out. Is it? I mean, they're paper, right?
They're paper, yeah. And yeah, I may not be doing it for more than like another 8 months. So everyone should
$40.
All right. Well,
I like
thanks.
that tattoo thing.
I'm going to ask everybody to unmute, give you a round of applause. Thanks so much for coming out, Mike. Everybody, it's a beautiful summer evening, unless you're in the southern hemisphere and it's winter. So either way, go enjoy the rest of the evening. Have a great time. Mike, thanks so much for coming to us. And
Thank you,
everybody-
Mike.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you. Really good.
Thanks everybody for great
Thanks. Fun.
comments.
Have a good
Nice to
night.
see you.
Awesome.
What a great smile you have.
And I'll put one last time, I'll put the link in the chat where you can upload these if you want, or you can go to Instagram and share them and share and tag Mike and stuff like that. So go click that, hurry up, and we'll sign off. Thanks so much.